SQL language. That is what our objective or the main session would be on SQL class today. So the different I'll talk about this one. We have like the different types of functions, like single row functions and multiple row functions. What is a single row function and a multiple row functions? We'll go in detail about that one. It returns only one value. Let's put it as a single row functions as a returns as a one value. It doesn't returns more than one value. What is a one value means? When you're for a function, let's assume that c is equals to a plus b. There is a function called c is equals to a plus b. How many types of arguments have been passed over here? We have to pass, to get the value for c, we have to pass two values, a and b, but the output is always only one value, right? So passing the two values that we are passing in a and b, those a and b are called arguments, and the value that we are getting is called as an output. So the function here is c is equals to a plus b. That's a function, and the arguments over here are a and b, and the output is c. So for if you want to consider what is a function is any calculation that has an arguments and that would return an output for us. Okay. So here, if you go back here again to this slide, SQL functions, you have to pass on arguments. Like there can be multiple arguments. In your example that we have taken right now, c is equals to a plus b, we are just passing two values. The input parameters that are passed to a particular function are called arguments. So in our example, c is equals to a plus b, how many arguments are we passing? We are passing two arguments, a and b. So there can be n number of arguments can be passed to a particular function, and the output that we get it is called as a result value or output value. So this is what the function is about. So to the function there will be input parameters and the output would be always some value. So if we are getting only one value, that's called as a single row functions. If it is returning multiple values, for example, c is equals to c is less than a greater than b. Let's assume that c is less than a and greater than b. If I pass value between 0 and 4, what are the values that you can get it?
1, 2, 3.
C is less than b. B, let's assume that the value is 0. A, let's assume that value as 4. So what can be values that can be there between 0 and 4? 1, 2, 3. So there are three values that we are getting for that particular function, right? If I have a function called, c has to be in between a and b. The function definition is c is less than b and greater than a. That's a function definition that I have it. And the input parameters that I'm passing to a and b are 0 and 4. But the output I'm getting as more than one value, which is 1, 2 and 3. If I get multiple values, then it is called a multiple row function. So based on the output value that you are getting it, you will term it as a single row or a multiple row. Clear? This is nothing to do with anything of our software development or something. It's a simple calculations or functions definitions. A function, for any function, the thumb rule is it has some arguments and there is an output if you pass on those arguments. And it can have more than one number of arguments. It can pass, a function can accept n number of arguments. Clear?
For both single and multi-row, they can accept
multiple, any. A function, basic definition of function is it can accept n number of arguments. N number of arguments, either 1, 2 or 3 or up to n. Okay, but there can be only one output or multiple values of output. If it is a one value of output, then it is called as a single Single row function. If we have a multiple values, it's called multiple row functions in terms of a SQL. Clear until now? What are the single row functions that we have it in SQL language? We have character, number, date, and conversion. Single row functions. What are the different types of single row functions that we have in SQL? We have character function, we have a number function, we have a conversion function, we have a date function. Okay? We'll talk about each function, what are those are. For example, character functions. What are the different types of character functions that we have it? Like case conversion functions. Under the character functions, if you go back to the structure again, in the single row functions we have character, number, date, and conversion. We are talking about character functions now. Okay? Under character functions, we have a case conversion functions and character manipulation functions. Just take a look at it, don't write it. Everything will be there. You first try to understand the concepts, otherwise you'll get lost. So what are the different types of character functions that we have it? We have a case conversion functions and character manipulation functions. Let's talk about each of them. Character conversion functions. Under character conversion functions, we have a lower, upper, init cap. Let me go over there here. Character conversion functions. What are the conversion functions that we have it? The first one is the lower. If I provide, the function itself is called as a lower. The first function name under the character conversion is called lower. What is that one? If I provide, lower is a syntax. It's a lower, and to that lower, if I pass on some argument, any argument, whatever the argument. Here the argument is SQL course. That's the argument that I'm passing to this function. Lower is a function, and the argument that I'm passing is SQL course. Okay? If I pass that argument, the value I am going to get it is going to convert the entire string into lowercase, which is small SQL COURSE. The input that I have passed, if you see it, SQL is in capital letters, C is in capital letters, and remaining all letters were in lowercase, right? So SQL course was an argument to the lower function, and the output I am going to get it is a entire string to be converted into a lowercase. Clear? You can go and give a try. Select asterisk from employee. Let's try with this one. If I do this one, if you see, ename is Smith, right? Ename is Smith. But for example, everything is in uppercase. Smith, Alan, everything is in uppercase. Now what I am doing is, I really don't know if anyone has passed. Let's assume that select asterisk from employee where ename equals to, if I provide like this, SMITH, if I provide like this, I'll get one row, right? From EMP, so this is how I get it, right? Let's assume how this function can be used, the lower function can be used. Select asterisk from employee where ename equals to, if I provide it in smaller letters, okay, let's assume that like this. Would I get any data? No, because the data in the database is always case sensitive, right? But I have provided some query I have provided like this as a smaller lowercase letters in Smith. So what I can do is, if I do this lower of ename of that column, I'll get the data again. Because the lower of ename, whatever the ename column that we have it, which is this, if you look at this, the column under ename, everything is in capital letters, right? What I'm doing is I'm using a function called lower on a column which is ename. Whatever the value that is there under the ename column, I'll convert it into the lowercase, which is equal to the value that I'm going to compare, which is Smith. If you do this one, I didn't get the data, but if I do this one now, I'll get the data, because I have converted the column ename to the lowercase. Clear until now? So the function lower is used to convert any string into lowercase. Clear? Any doubts? Where?
So you are comparing with Smith in the last statement.
Right. This is the value that I am comparing. Okay. This can be any value that user can give it. Okay. And lower is the function that I am taking. And the column that I want to convert to the lowercase is the ename. Clear?
Raj, have you executed that one?
Yeah.
This one?
Doesn't show any. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, Smith is not changed there in lowercase.
No. What I'm saying is, this value, I'm not changing that value in the database. What I'm doing is, this is the value that I need to compare. With what? With capital of Smith.
Okay.
But if I compare, if I do this one,
Okay, now it's taking lowercase. That's what happened.
exactly. If I do this one,
Yeah, it won't change.
it doesn't get the data, because the exact data in the database is in capital letters, in uppercase. What I'm trying to do is, I have to have the smaller lowercase in the value that I need to compare it. But what I'm trying to do is, I'm changing the data, the column, whatever that I have it in the database, to lowercase in my query, not in the database. In the database, it will never get changed. But whatever you are trying to get it from the data, you are converting the data into the lowercase.
Try
Here-
to select lower name, select lower within brackets ename from it, it gives the output as smaller ones, the smaller case.
Yeah.
And this is only for display, right? This is not going to change the information.
Which one?
This doesn't change anything, right? This is just display.
Just display, just character.
Just the output.
Character manipulation, that you are trying to manipulate it, whatever the data that you are going to get it. Okay. So upper function is nothing but it converts the data into uppercase. For example, it's SQL course, so it gets converted to SQL course in the uppercase. The function is the upper. Okay. Init cap. Init cap is, if you see SQL course, it will just capital, just turn the character into uppercase of the first character with a space in between them. If there is two words in it, two words in a particular string, and it is separated by a space, two words, the first word, the first character in the word, in each word would get converted to the uppercase. So SQL course means SQL is one word, the first character in SQL is yes, which gets converted to capital letters, which is uppercase yes, and the other two characters would get converted into the lowercase, which is SQL. And in the course, the first character would get, course is another word, the first character gets converted to the uppercase, all other characters would be in the lowercase. So init cap, first character in each word would get converted to the uppercase. Clear? There is no real usage for most of these functions that are there right now, which we are discussing. The real usage would be, I would talk about only few functions are there that are very, very important, especially the date functions, which are very, very important on a day-to-day basis. But these lower, upper, their usage is very less. But how is it required? Why is it required? Is there will be lots of questions on these functions in the interview. There will be lots of
functions?
yes. In interview favorite topics would be joins, functions. There will be another one. There is a table called a dual. I'll talk about that one.
Database table.
Yeah, whenever a SQL gets installed, you will have a default table called as a dual. If you go and select asterisk from dual, it's a dummy single row single value function. I'll talk about how exactly you can do it. Okay, but there will be there will be questions on this particular dual table to talk about your joins, aggregate functions, these functions that we are talking about now, group by, order by, all those functions that we have talking about, operator precedence. So it's all favorite topics for everyone to talk about the SQL interview. Clear until now? Case conversion functions? Any doubts? We covered the lower, upper and init cap.
Can you try the upper one?
Sure. So let's select from the upper. What is the, nothing, we have it in an upper, right? Let me open if there is any in the smaller case. Okay, let's change this data to there should be a commit. Where is it? Oh yeah. So I'm committing it now, right? So I have a smaller in the job section for Smith. It's in the smaller letters, right? Select asterisk from employee where ename equals to Smith. So it's in the smaller letters, right? Now what I would do is select job from EMP where ename equals to Smith. If I do this one, I am getting in a smaller letters. Now what I'll do is I will use upper job. Clerk gets converted into the uppercase, right? If you see, the value is now in the upper. Not clear?
This one is clear, but lower name is not clear.
This one? Okay, let me go. What's happening is I want to get data from employee name whose employee name is equals to Smith. Okay. In the database, Smith is in capital letters. Okay. In the database, Smith is in the capital letters. But I'm comparing with lowercase Smith. If I do this one, do I get the data? No. The reason is the data in the database is in uppercase, but I'm comparing with lowercase. What I'm saying is, whatever I'm comparing here, convert the data into the lowercase. So that's why I'm using the lower of ename. Lower of ename. If I don't do this one, for example, if I do this one, if I execute this one, if you see, if I do this one, see, all the data that was there in the database got converted to the lowercase now. That's why I'm comparing with, when I compare with lower Smith, Smith is equal to the Smith in the lowercase, and I get the data. Okay, but it doesn't go ahead and modify the data in the database as lowercase, because you are selecting it, you are not updating it, right? You are selecting is the just retrieval, and that's how the character got converted from lower to from upper to lower. That's why we call it as a case conversion function. That's what we were discussing over here, right? Case conversion functions, lower, upper, and init cap. Clear until now? Any doubts? Let me go ahead and update this one first of all. Okay. Next one is the character manipulation functions. Concatenate, substring, length, instring, lpad. These are the character manipulation functions.
Sir, in the last one, initcap, right? Initcap.
Initcap.
Initcap. In this, we just get first letter in the capital in a word, right? In whole sentence, right?
First word.
In capital.
First character in a particular word. Any number of words can be there in a string.
Okay. Everywhere, every word, first letter.
Yeah, first character of each word. If there are like, my name is Raj. My name is Raj. How many words are there? 4 words are there.
So my,
M,
I, and
my means M,
yeah.
Name means N, is means I, Raj means R. So first character of each word would get converted to the uppercase, which is init cap. Clear? Saurabh, clear? Sumir, clear? You need to ask me questions if you're not clear. Okay, but you're clear about the init cap?
Yes, it converts the first character of each word as capital.
Okay. Next one is the character manipulation functions. Anaga, are you clear? No doubts, right? Okay, character manipulation functions. Next one is the concatenation, substring, length, instring, lpad. What are those things? We talked about those examples over here. Character. No, we are talking now.
Oh.
Okay, those are the character manipulation functions. Concatenation. We talked about concatenations. I'll ask this question to Anaga. What is the symbol that we use for the concatenation?
Pipes.
Exactly. Great. Okay. Instead of using pipe, we can also use the function called as a concatenate. Instead of using pipe, we can also use the concatenate. Let's talk about this one. What was that one we have used? Select ename. This is how we did right? Ename job from employee. I don't know. Am I making any sense with this sentence? I think so, right? Okay, I'm making sense. Okay, now instead of this one, select concatenate. I use this string function. I'll just pass ename, comma, job from EMP. If I do this one, execute it, it's the same thing, right? Select ename, employee, JF. If I want to give an alias, I'll ask this question to Samir. I want to see if you give the stable name. Okay, before asking, are you clear about this function? Sorry guys if I'm very fast. So instead of pipe, what I'm saying is I'm just using this function called as ename, and I'm passing those columns to this functions to concatenate it. Clear? Any questions until now? Okay. Now what I'm asking is, Sumir, if I want, if you look at this output, the column name is concatenate ename job, right? Under this one I'm getting this one. I want to get this as a column name as description, DESC. Instead of having the column name as concatenate ename comma job, the output is coming under this column name, right? I want to get it under the column name as description, which is DESC. How do I write it?
Use the syntax for alias.
Exactly. So what should I write it?
Use space and you say as single quotes DESC.
Is it single quotes? Double quotes. That's it. Double quotes. Did you look at what was the error? Sorry. Key name not found where expected. That was an error I'm getting at. I don't know what does that sentence makes, but what was the syntax here? It's in the double quotes. I get it in the description, right? Can I make it without double quotes also?
No.
Who said no? I'll ask, no, if, I mean, you said it's no, that's fine, but I will ask those questions. If I go ahead and execute it, I don't get it.
Is that one is case sensitive?
I think you have to have
Double
As
quotes is
Alias needs double quote, right?
Yeah, but as is not a mandatory, right?
oh
I think DESC, why is it taking like this one?
Because
It's a command.
that's
Description.
predefined thing.
What is that?
It's a
Description.
It's a descending, right?
Exactly. That's a descending. So it's saying that it's a descending. It's going in a descending. That's why DES is giving an error. If I say DES, it is taking, right?
Yeah.
So as was an optional. I didn't give an as, right?
Even the quote
As.
is optional?
Quotes is also optional, but if you want it in a particular format, like for example, if you give it this one as, for example, if what's happening there? Okay, in DES, if I give it as a D, smaller letters DES, if you see, D is in capital, after capital it is in smaller case, ES, right? If I do this one, execute it, see the column name, it's always in capital letters. But if I want to get it in the same format, then I have to give it in the double quotes and execute it. I will get it as in the exact path, exact way that I'm trying to give it, the column name, DES.
So he said as DEC,
Right.
but that also works, right?
That also works, but those are all mandatory. Those are all optional. That's what I'm saying. So when I say DES, Yeah, this is also works. This also works. Clear, guys? So concatenation means I'm trying to concatenate or add two words into one string. That's the that's the usage of that concatenation. There is no need to use the pipe symbol, or you can use the pipe, anything.
This one will do only two.
Any values, any number of, this can accept any number of arguments. After this one, let's assume that comma higher date. Should accept. Select ename, higher date. What was the other values that we have it? Employee number. Employee number. Invalid number of arguments. Takes any number of arguments. See, string value 1, string value 2, string value. Why is it not taking? Concatenate, select, concatenate, employee number, job. Select.
Version matters, I mean, maybe this one will not take so long.
Yeah, let me check on this one. We'll continue with this one. I'll get back to you. But it can accept any number of arguments. That's the answer for that.
Okay.
But let me get back to you on that one.
Okay.
We'll continue. Okay, substring. Substring. There is another function called as a substring. This function, what it will tell us, if I want to get a predefined or a specific set of characters from a particular string, then we have to use the function called as a substring. Substring, the syntax is substring, and pass on what is the string that you want to have it. Here I am passing it as a string, string. In that I just need only 3 characters, which is starting from 1. So how do I provide it? First is I need to provide it 1, which is the starting position, and the number of characters that I want to have it, which is 3. So it will get str, the output is. Okay. If I want to get 4 characters, I have to provide it is 1, 4, and the output would be stri. If I provide it 2, 3, Romila, what would be my answer would be? In this string, if I provide instead of 1, if I provide it 2, 3, the starting position is 2 instead of 1. So it will start from the second position, which is tri, not the first one. Clear?
So the 3 in this case is the last.
Yeah.
So you can, let's say if you want to say all 5, so you can say 1, 5.
So how many of them are? Total 6 are there, right?
1, 6.
7 are there.
Yeah, so 1, 6.
1,
Or 1, 6.
1, 6 means first 6 characters, starting from the one means in this substring, this is the value that you are providing it. What is the string? One would be is the starting position and number of characters from that position. Number of characters from that position.
That's what 3 means.
3 means.
Yeah.
Like it's
Oh,
same like
not that.
1, 2 blank we put and it automatically start from the third one, right?
No.
It's a different.
Go back here.
Okay.
Again, string.
Mhm.
This is the string, or say let's assume good.
Okay.
Let's assume good. In the good string, I want to get it first 3 characters. First 3 characters. So GOO.
According?
So what it would be is good, and the starting position would be again 1, and the number of characters are 3. Right? Let's assume that I want to get last 3 characters. Last 3 characters, which would be OOD, right? Last 3 characters means the starting position would be
2,
2.
comma,
Starting position 2, right? Starting position is 2. How many characters? 3. 2 comma 3.
Can you do an example?
Substring of ename 1 comma 3 from EMP. Semi, ALL, blah blah blah, everything. I'll just change it to delete to 2. The second character of this one. Let's assume that I'll select ename also. If you see this one, SMITH is my employee name, but in the employee name, the next value that I'm trying to get it is substring of ename, which is starting from character 2 of 3 letters. I want to have it. So in SMITH, it is starting position is 2, which is M, and next 3 characters MIT, which is MIT here, LLE here. Clear? If I put 3 comma 2 now, 3 comma 2, from which position it will take? Third. So for WARD, WARD, what would be my answer? WARD. WARD.
AR, only 2.
RD.
No.
AR.
WAR, you start
Third and 2, right?
RD.
RD.
RD, right? RD, right?
Yep.
That's how it will get. Clear, guys? Substring. Length. Length is just the length of that string. If how many characters are there in that string? What is the exact length of the string? Raj. How many characters are there? 3. So length of Raj is 3. If I want to get length of Smith, I have to use LENGTH is the function, and the select ename substring LENGTH of ename, execute. LENGTH. Execute it. That's how the length of a particular column I would get. Length is very, very useful in our day-to-day testing activities. This string, this function, sorry, length function is very, very useful. LENGTH, that function on any column, I would get that length of the value that is there for that particular value in that particular column. Clear, guys? Length.
I have one question. Does this apply for number? Is there such a thing for number string?
Number string.
I mean, text is string, right? Alphanumeric is string, right? But if it is a number, will the same rules apply?
Yep. Let's assume that there should be some.
The salary column.
I don't know why I'm making so many mistakes today.
You didn't have your coffee today.
Yeah, I didn't have any coffee today. Okay. What's a salary, right? So select ename length of ename length of salary. Let's see what will happen. I've never given it a try.
Does it say? If it does,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see what is the salary also here.
yeah.
So first salary is 800. So length of 800 is 3 characters, which is 3. 16404. Clear, guys, about length? In string. In string is also another very, very important, which is string. I'm passing a value like a character in that particular word. I want to get what is the position of that particular character in that word. String, string, is a word, and I'm passing R. What is my position of R in that particular word? So string, R is at position 3. Folks, listen to me. You'll forget this. First listen to the concepts, then you can give it a try. In string means this is a function. The value that I'm passing is the string, and I want to get the position of R in that particular word string. So R is at position 3. R is at position 3. So I will, what is the usage of this in string? I will get the position of a particular character in a word. I will get the position of a particular character in that word. Manishi, what would be my position G? If I want to get the position of G in a string, what should I do? Okay. So in string is a function. String is the value that I'm passing. I want to get the position of R, which is I have passed an R. So R is where exactly it is lying in this particular string, which is 3, right? If I pass G here, what is the position? 5. If I
5, 6, 6.
6, right? So 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6. Right? So in string,
I have actually with length actually, I'm sorry. You said that it's very important in the word, but what is the function while we are doing?
this is the length, right? Function.
No, actually, you said it is important while we are doing in a testing, right? What is the importance of this?
I'm just thinking of an example. Give me a
If you know
second.
how many figures you're running.
Exactly. I'm thinking about the salary only. If you are saying that grade of a salary, right? If he is earning less than 6 digits, he is in grade 1. Greater than 6 digits, he is a grade 2. Something like that, if you want.
Actually, I'm still with length, that's why I didn't concentrate on
And this is also case in string. The R is case sensitive, right? We have to give the correct.
Correct. So in string, any questions, guys? Or should we go ahead? In string function definition is I want to get a position of a character in a word. If I want to get a position of a character in a word, the function that I'm going to use is the in string. Okay, let's try an example. So let's try to do some good exercise of this in string, where exactly it will be used. Okay. Just thinking of an example.
When we do in string, see how you only had R. Can there be multiple characters in the quotation, in the single quotations?
Yeah. You mean?
So let's say like for higher date, like Jay said, can we have in string 198, and then it'll just say everything that's in the 1980s, essentially?
Come again? What is that? Select.
In string.
Select in string.
Higher date. Well, in string, and then 198.
Where is that 198?
Under
In the
higher date.
1980, the year it was straight, it is over here.
Oh, higher date.
And the higher date,
Higher
the
date.
first one.
Yeah, but that's a column, right?
No, I don't think under the column.
It's a column, right? So you have to give this higher date. Okay. And let's assume that if I pass in as a 1, what I would get. I don't know what I would get it.
From you.
Got your question, but you might say it again. Basically, you're asking from the higher date, this particular information can be just given
Line.
19 and
Yeah,
the
it
rest of
should.
it.
You did?
It just says the position, right?
Yeah, it's just.
So what is the higher date here? Let's study what is happening here. Higher date. So what I'm saying is I want to get the position of number 1 in the higher date. So here in 12 it is first position, which is 1, right? Here what is the position? 1 is over here, so which is 9th position.
It's
1,
taken
2,
the
3,
last one, I think.
4, 5, 6,
1989.
Oh, that's a date.
6,
Yeah, it's the last one.
6,
Last
7, 8, 9.
And
Oh, for one, this
1, 2.
one. Because the slash is also
1981, right? So where exactly 1 is, right? That's where it's taking, I guess. You got it?
Yeah.
There it is taking the last,
Yeah,
but 11,
exactly.
11, there is one more,
Yeah.
where there are 3 ones. It is taking the first one.
yeah.
No, this date is getting formatted into a the date would be in Oracle. It is in
Can you repeat?
give me a second, I'm coming. See, the Oracle date is in the default date format is DD month YY. Okay. So higher date, it's DD MM YY. So DD is 17 here, MM is 12, okay, and YY. Here DD is 20, MM is 2, and YY.
Yeah, 81. Oh,
So YY is 81, right? So DD is 20 and MM is 2. How many of them are there? DD 3, MM is again 0, 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. That's how it is getting addressed. So DD is 20, MM is 0, 2, YY is 18, 81, right? Is it in YY 81?
19.
It's
It's 19.
The default date format is
But also here it says MON, right, month. Does that make a difference? No, I guess, because one is only to guess.
so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
It should be 1981,
Why?
right? So 4
Why?
Ys.
Why?
So it has
So
to
it will
be.
be 4y.
Why? Oh, yeah.
4y.
1981, right?
but that's not the ninth position, right?
So it's only 4, 8,
8th position.
8.
You're looking for 8.
So this is Y9 in string.
Last 9.
Oh.
Give me a second. So higher date 1, right? And there was another question. What was that? Concatenation number of arguments, right? I'll take a note of these questions. Okay, I'll not deviate from this one. Otherwise, we'll stuck over here. Concatenate number of strings. Example and higher date. Take a note of it. Let's continue, guys. Okay. But we understood about this in-string first definition, right? What is the usage of the in-string? If I want to get a particular position of a character in a word, I want to use the function called as a in-string. And the example is if I have it as a string and if I pass on the value any character in that particular word, I would get the position of that particular character in that word. If I pass I get the position as 4. Clear until now? Now LPAD. Okay, LPAD means, for example, I'll not talk about this one, but let's see this example. I have a salary. Okay, I have a salary. And I want to have it as a 10 digits, which should be prefixed with asterisk. I have a salary. I should have a salary of 10 digits. So the output of the salary should be 10 digits and it should be prefixed with asterisk. For example, if I have a salary of only $1, but it should be of 10 digits. My salary should be represented in 10 digits. So the first 9 digits would be always asterisk and the last digit would be 1. Clear? Where exactly it will be used as, for example, in arithmetic calculations, for example, if we get lots of salaries which are ranging from 2 digits to, let's say, 6 digits, they want to prefix with whatever these digits which are there. Like, let's assume they want to get a salary of people for length of 6 digits. And if you are getting any employee who has just only 2 digits or say 3 digits, they want to prefix the remaining 3 digits with $. Clear? $. So the first 3 characters would be $3 and the next 3 characters would be $300. Okay, so if I have any amount, any calculation that I want to do it on any particular column, and if I want to get some digits out of it, okay, some predefined X number of digits that I want to hit. Let's assume that I want to get on employee name. What is the employee name? Let's assume that the employee name we have given, let's assume 10 digits. Okay, employee name we have 10 digits. This is the employee name, right? Now what I'm saying is I will get the employee name of let's assume employee name. Okay, I would use the function of LPAD. I will give this employee name, the column, and I want to get it for 15 bytes, that employee name. My output should be of 15 bytes, and whatever the value that is already there, let's assume the employee name Smith is already there, right? So there is, how many digits are there, how many value characters are there? 5 digits, 5 characters are there. So my last 5 characters would take that value, but remaining 10 characters should be prefixed with asterisk. So if I do this one, See, this is how I get it. So
Left pad means what?
Left hand.
left padding.
Oh, okay.
Left padding. Left padding, you are padding that particular column with some type of representation that you want to have it. Here I'm having with asterisk. You can put
Any character.
any character. Say, let's assume dollar. So something.
We can even add like Mr. Miss. Like
Yep. But it will be Mr.
Yeah, that's what I.
Let's assume that you have a salary, right? Is it a salary, right? I want to get it for 10 bytes. And if you see, that's 800 is prefixed with like this.
If I want to give Mr. slash MS, then I can define the number of strings as 5 there, so that I get only Mr. slash Miss.
Which one?
For the e name, if I want to be prefixed with Mr. MR slash MS, I can define the number of characters. Instead of 10, I can give it as 5, right? E name, comma 5, comma within quotes Mr. slash MS.
Mr.
Just for the e name, yeah. Just for the e name.
Mr. Slash.
Select e name.
Comma.
Yeah, e-name and helper e-name, comma 5. Okay, start from
What should I write?
e-name, comma 5.
Mr.
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 MR slash MS.
I don't think so.
Or
This
you
will
can say-
you'll
It's
have
not
it only.
only-
It's only one character, right? You want to left pad with it?
Oh,
You are
is
giving
it only
all.
one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it from
From
EMP?
EMP.
From Pay.
we can do that. Okay.
You are left padding with a.
Oh, okay.
You are left padding with a. Or give it as a 10 bytes. I don't think so. It will work.
Okay.
You are left padding with a value. MR MS. It's 10, right? But
Yeah.
if you see, it's not repeating.
Yes. Yeah. That's
It's just.
yes.
It's not repeating. It's just equal.
Okay. I just counted the number of characters.
Okay. Any questions on concatenation, substring, length, in string, LPAD?
In string, I have a question. Say, for example, in one particular name, if you have two same characters,
It will return the first position of the character. That's a valid question. In Alan, let's assume it is ALLAN, and I want to get the position of A in Alan. It will be always return the first position, first appearance of that particular character in that word. You will not get multiple values.
So it will return the number 1.
Number one.
They return.
Number one.
I think that's what happened when you done for higher date.
Yeah, but it's the results are.
Data.
It's not what I'm expecting. I'll take a look at it. Clear, guys? So we talked about case conversion and character manipulation functions until now. Any doubts? So concatenate, length, in string. Do this, execute the statement and see what if you're able to execute it.
Concatenate.
The select manipulation functions on the employee table.
Okay.
Is doing the select ename, concatenate, a length, in string from employee, where substring of job 1, 5 equals to cells. He has used all kinds of
Oh, okay.
functions over here. Clear, right?
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 functions. Right?
Select name, concat, job,
And return the length of the name
insert email,
by giving the position of A in name, right?
that's
On this file. Oh, substring.
So, I want to take a look at it. You can type it as it is.
But you should explain it.
I want you people to explain that. So take few minutes, try to execute it.
Got it, right?
Oh, yeah, it's
Why is it running around?
someone is controlling it.
Oh. Ah. Ah.
Somebody, like, through the virtual machine, team viewer.
What is after
Oh,
doing
that was
like what is the last of that after?
Where substring job
SUV?
He's going to answer now.
What happened to the VMware?
Somebody there's
Remote.
through the team viewer.
No, after where what happens?
where
What is it?
Somebody is doing it.
From the hunt
Who is doing it? Not
Krishna,
so
probably.
Raj has no control over the machine.
Priya.
No, this is this machine is used by the other classrooms.
Not the same machine. They don't have their own machine.
Somebody is, remotely logged in. So
Look at that.
Close
Somebody
that
took
one
over.
and, no, somebody's logged in.
Bloodless who?
They asked
They
you
asked,
if you are in
Look
class.
Look at your notepad.
In the notepad.
You stepped up, somebody's closely monitoring.
No, in the notepad, sir.
Notepad. They asked you if you were there.
In
No, not those,
on
on the,
original machine.
yes.
See?
No, yeah, they typed that, so.
Here. I think
They are
it's
closely monitoring us. My God, we are being spied upon.
yeah, really we are being spied upon.
Did you get into trouble?
Yeah, there was 3 calls I got it. I think there was some issues within the building also, I guess.
Oh.
It went into the main Herndon office.
Issues within the building? But it's not their building, right?
I don't know, Ria didn't explain it to me. It got a voicemail from me. Then I talked to her. Then she told that we shouldn't use the building when the instructor is not there, blah, blah. And she said that she is going to send out an email to all you people. I don't know what's going on. I didn't talk to Krishna after that one. Anyway, that's okay.
As soon as you, because the door opened and closed?
No.
Because the screen was there for a long time?
He asked some question. He sent some question, I guess.
Hey, sorry, go on. Okay, that's okay. Okay, where are we? Sorry, guys.
Again the problem.
Press
No.
and hold it for like 2 or 3 seconds. Shift.
Shift.
Yeah, we are not waiting for that. The screen went away.
That's it.
Isn't machine used by everyone?
Yes.
No, and not try.
London and everywhere?
This one.
No, not try.
Yes.
Try typing. Just write.
Really?
Yeah, I mean the main server which is there here.
Oh.
So
This is
press
just
shift
the remote,
twice.
this thing, right?
This whatever you're seeing right now is a local,
Ah.
but if you see the Steam view, the site which I'm here,
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay.
this is the common server that we use it.
That is your version of
Back to
VMware.
same.
Okay, put back.
Okay, so this is where we are. Now I will be asking one person to explain this entire statement for me.
Don't ask me, my keyboard is stuck.
We are controlling that too.
So there's some issue like I don't know, something
I told
happens.
you,
Every
right?
time actually.
Came again, all gone.
Okay,
I didn't finish the command.
Sure.
Yeah, the whole thing is not command.
That give us 5 minutes.
Huh?
sure. It's specifically to your Toad, right, Rovila?
Yes.
I
Only
don't know
that.
I don't know what's happening.
The shift one.
Yeah.
That's because of the right shift. We need to use only the left one.
Yeah.
Who will go on to the dais and explain me that entire statement?
Yeah, okay.
Can I do it?
Okay,
No,
go.
I'll take 1 second. I'm becoming Stream job 146. So, Sunil, can you explain what's happening over here?
First of all, we are using 3 functions, actually 4 functions, concatenation, substance.
It's not inside.
You are displaying the volumes you need, you are concatenating, you need the job, then you are getting the length of the,
You did.
getting length of each, length of all the characters, all the rules for each. We are interested in looking at string command, which is basically looking at only the character A, the position of character A. You are setting a condition that you want to only look for, look at the job column, and that starts from 1 to 5, where the word is saved. So it's displaying the length of the name.
Yeah, but why I'm getting only, how many rows I'm getting?
You get 1.
I'm getting only 4 rows, right? Why am I getting only 4 rows?
Because the condition for job occupied sales, and only these people are in the sales. Look at
Job.
The last one. I see its execution.
It did. It did. It is asking for.
It's only 4 rows.
Oh, okay. So only sales one is showing.
job. So
Okay.
starting from.
If I do it like 1, 2, 3 and write man, then manager.
Manager.
And if you do say
You're looking at the
Same.
supply table, you're looking at any particular.
got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jay, I want you to explain for me on the dash. Substring.
No, we are not using.
Substring is returning. Substring is an assumption which we usually look for the job. The job other string. We are starting with the first series.
Set it from the employee word.
Going together.
Try checking out because I have
Are you ready?
Not ready, Raj. Give me 2 minutes,
No,
please.
I'm not finished. I have the exact same.
ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಈಗ ಡೇಟಾವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ
Okay. Yes, job. After that, then oh, I didn't give 2 characters, right?
What's the problem?
It's not even a
Small.
in string.
Who will develop this problem?
This is the in string.
Did we know
Indian A. Where I get this for the instant Indian A? There is a
Yeah, what did you do now?
Comma.
Yeah, that was missing, right?
I'm confused what is there.
In this, let's put space.
So it's each argument is separated, should be comma separated.
That's all.
Name, comma, job.
No.
Use one comma and job.
Oh, you put together.
String Indian A.
I have a question.
So what is the output for this?
And last one. I have nothing. I just want to see what happens.
When A is there, position of A, it shows, okay.
When I logged in the first time, I logged in as system. And then I selected the the schema as stop.
Substring job, comma,
So
one.
this connection.
அப்படின்னா என்ன சேல்ஸ்மேன் என்ன டிஸ்பிளே பண்ணு
You're selecting the system. So that's what it is.
Substring is a job title. Substring of the job, job.
So it should whole value, right? Yes. Otherwise 1 to 5 means S, A, L, E,
First
S.
substring is
Right?
job.
Only
Job
there
title,
we
right?
have
So 1 to 5.
One is a starting character, and then 5 after it.
No, they might have it out that there are some more classes are going on here that they are not aware of. You got what I'm saying?
No. You have something.
Yeah.
I think what's you got what I'm saying?
Someone else is making money.
No.
Someone else is making money out of this particular facilities.
That is their concern. Okay, we can clarify.
Oh, I
You know
think-
what?
But
We've been using the projector
no,
to
they
teach
have
us.
already mentioned that it's, the electricity has.
Raj, you know, I think the reason for that is we haven't been turning off the AC at all.
Yeah.
Even at that I mentioned, they said that insurance
Is the issue? Yeah, of course. There's always
Riya
that
is-
issue.
I think Riya
Insurance
is
is the issue.
Krishna's wife, I guess. I think she has given me a call.
Oh,
It
it
says that-
came all the way from
but-
down.
But I think they said that there should be an email be sent out. I
Sure,
don't
no
know
problem.
why the email.
That's okay.
So stop using this one. Why?
Yeah, that's
you
why.
get into
No, I
this
just
one?
want-
Why get in trouble? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not us, people get
So,
it.
yeah, he'll get it.
Yeah, not only that. Besides, if somebody comes in while
we're here.
Right.
Of course, and it's just not. Yeah, that's
I
fine.
mean, the weird question that I got it is what's happening over there. So they were probably in perception that there are some more classes that are going on.
No, because we were turning on the projector to.
AC has been there for
Yeah,
continuous,
and we've been using the HDMI cable to connect it to our machines, not the guy. And we were, so that we can learn, that's all we did.
Yeah, I think they got around $800 the bill, I guess. The electricity they used to get $60, it seems. Okay, Jay, go. Let's get back to our class.
So,
Yeah, we should,
You want to go there?
yeah.
Go.
Oh, there?
Yeah,
bro.
Guys, we have another probably 11 or 12 classes left. September 12th should be our end date. We have QTP and SOAP UI. Unix have left after the SQL.
How about you will cover VB also, right?
VB, what?
VB script.
QTP is nothing but the VB script. So
But
Maybe so.
when I called, they said September 12th for the next session is tentative.
But that's
Yours-
again on the Saturdays and Sundays 10 to 12. And Krishna told me that around September 12th or 20th, this sessions will
Oh,
end. Right?
because,
So we have QTP, Unix, and SOAP UI web services.
ETL also, right?
ETL, that's a British ETL.
Do we do any more?
Mona said it will go until October, so I was so happy when I heard that. Even
October will go till I think this one, your Selenium class.
No. I asked her particularly about this. She said 12th is the tentative date. Don't worry about it. She said your class beginning date is June 6th, so it might go until September end or October 1st week.
When I called to inquire about the classes, that's what the person said, because I didn't want to join on June 6th. And I mean, she said there is one starting day after tomorrow, and I said, no, what about the next one? She said it might take till October. I mean, that was before joining.
So I was so happy. So even then,
Anyway,
Just like
we
I
have
announced
another
about-
three main topics left is the SQL, Unix, QTP, and the SOAP UI. Now, but at the same time, we have to start practicing about this, explaining on the dais now. That's the most important. Go ahead.
Right, so
talk about
for this particular syntax, we want to see the employee. Basically, what we've done is we've
You can
selected.
put your laptop here, you can explain over there.
Okay.
No, it's just okay.
So what's happening over there?
So what we've
what's
done
the
is,
sentence is making for me?
We've selected from the employee table, and we've concatenated the employee name and his particular job, and that's when the output was employee name is Martin from the employee table, and we've concatenated between we both basically merged, concatenated employee name and his job. That is, Martin is salesman, and the length of the employee name. When we say length is one particular field where we actually want to see the number of characters there. For particular employee name. So Martin is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
6.
1, 2, 3, 6. I'm sorry. So Martin is 6 characters. So we've got under length when we've given ename. So it's given you a separate column saying as in length ename, and the character is 6. After which, what we've done is we've inserted employee name, and we want to see where exactly.
Inserted? 1 second, guys. Don't.
We've actually given another query saying insert employee name, and
Insert. That's what I'm asking. No, guys, wait, guys. INSTR. Is that
No, it's
insert?
not insert. It's instring.
In
Instring.
string.
SRI.
String. Okay, in string.
What we've done, we want to find where that particular character in the name of what is the character.
You're there. You're getting it.
What is the character in a number on the particular, for example, Raj. We want to see how much, what is A in Raj. So RAJ, A is in second, so it will come 2. But in this case, it's in this case also it's 2.
So here in string, what is the first argument that I'm passing?
Employee name.
Okay. So in employee name, the value which is there, I'm trying to get the position of
A of that particular person's name.
Of the employee.
Employee. Yeah. And after which, what we've done is where you also selected where substring. You created a substring for the job where you wanted to see the number of one second. Substring job. You wanted to see how many characters are there for that particular job title, and also it starts with which alphabet. Full motor.
Can you explain it again?
Sure.
I am not able to get it.
Where you wanted to basically see have a substring there for the job column, and wanted to see how many characters are there for that particular job title. No?
Manishi, you can explain me about that?
Yeah.
You want to go over there?
Yeah, here is the where is substring job 1, comma 5. It's mean that we want a salesman start with 1 character until 5, right? So it takes salesman from S and the 5th character is E. That is the 5th number, right? And automatically it's take all men, but we have we just say 1, comma 5, right? It's mean character 1 means S and the till 5 means SALE. SALES. So salesman, right?
Repeat it again. I am not able to get it. I want you to repeat it.
Yeah.
So I want you to repeat from where substring in brackets job comma 1 comma 5 equals to sales. I want you to explain to me what that sentence is making to me, or what does it make? What is it conveying to me?
It is conveying to you actually. We just want sales, right? And this is the job, comma 1 means S here, right? I want the character in from the sales. I want first S and the 5th character. It's S, right? But I am a little bit confused here. Why it's take men always here? We just give 1, comma 5. Then it should be take only 1 to 5 characters, right?
Okay, I'll come back to you again. Jay, you want to go back again? You can stay over there, Manishi.
So,
Okay, Jay, what you got my question, right?
yes.
Sorry guys, I have to pick you.
No,
right?
sure, no problem.
Okay, I have to pick you. There's no other option for you guys. Where substring of within the brackets job comma 1 comma 5 equals to in single quotes sales. I want you people to give me an understanding of that particular sentence. I'm unable to get to your explanation. That's what I'm saying to you. I'm unable to get you. Can you go back and tell me?
Sure.
what's going on?
Substring is basically you're identifying the from the job column. You're giving basically the number of characters for this particular job, which is sales. And I'm not sure what is 1.
Deepali,
Yeah.
want to go there?
Okay. I think when we did the substring in the class, we just randomly gave these values. So we got the first to 5 characters of the names. But here we are specifying that we need a job whose first to 5 characters have to be sales.
Is that making sense to us? What she said just now? Can you repeat it again?
We need to find the jobs and the jobs, the first to 5 characters of all the jobs should be sales only. So we are getting only the salesman.
Come back, guys.
What we are supposed to do here is to find out the people who have sales in their designations. That is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I know, you got it. So that is why you're checking for the substring. Substring, job is the designation, right? Job is the column header. Okay? The starting position is 1. Okay, so what is 1? For the designation, where is the designation? The contact name and job. See, this is the designation, this part is the designation, this is the name, right? You're displaying the name. So this is S, you're starting from here, okay, till number 5. Okay, so starting position for the job designation is 1 through 5. So that satisfies the condition. The question put to us, the question that you arrive from this is, you give the name of the people who have sales in their designation. While you do that, display you have to display the e-name and job together for the concatenate function, and you need to return the length of the e-name, which is 6, right? For each name, just name, not the designation, just the name, okay? You return the name, and within the string of e-name, the letter A. Where is the letter A? With the letters A, yeah. So this is this part is display. This is the condition. So you look first at the condition. The condition is usually the question. Where? Condition. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to go ahead and explain?
Go.
From your point.
Yeah, she was saying the same thing. I know.
I want to go over sentence by sentence. What we are doing right here, we are selecting the e-name, and we have a condition for e-name right here, where the length of the, we want to find the length of the e-name. We have to keep that in mind, and we want to find the position of A in the e-name. We want to keep that in mind also when we are selecting e-name here. Comma job. We have a condition for job also. We have to pick only the salesman. This condition describe for 1 through the first character through 5th character is has to be sales. That means we have to pick. It could be sales manager, it could be salesman, it could be anybody but related to sales. So in this employee table, we have only salesman. We don't have sales manager or anything. So that's why the salesman thing is listed here. So this here we are returning e-name. We are concatenating e-name and job here, and length of e-name here, in string of e-name and A, the position of A in the e-name, number 2, here, from the employee table, and here is the condition, where substring of job 1 through 5, job, the designation, clerk, manager, whatever, we have to pick the designation of the of the e-name. It has to match the first 5 characters has to match sales. It could be anything, but the first 5 thing has to be sales. So since we have only salesman in this file, that is being displayed here.
Thank you. Clear, guys? Yes. So it's only 2 phrases that we can say. How many rows are there in the employee name table? We have 14 rows, right? Yeah. I want to select only the rows where the job starts with sales. The first 5 characters of jobs has only sales. So that's I have to divide this entire sentence into 2 categories. If I am there to go and look into the sentence, I will always look into the where clause first. I'll forget about what columns I'm getting it, what I'm doing this one. First, I will take a look at the where clause. So in the where clause, I'm saying that substring of job 1, 5 equals to sales. So job is a column in my table, right? Exactly. Take a look at your table also when I'm explaining. Job is a column on your table. And under that column, I have manager, salesman, clerk, analyst. Everything are there, right? But what I'm doing here, I'm using a function called as a substring on a column job, where first 5 characters. Why I'm saying first 5 characters? Because the starting position is 1 and the length is 5. So the first 5 characters of the job column should always have sales. So only those rows I need to retrieve from the table. So in the there are values like manager. Straight away they don't come into our retriever because the first 5 characters don't have a sales over there. It's a manager over there. But in terms of a salesman, yes, I have to retrieve that one because the first 5 characters are sales. How about analyst? Analyst would also not come because analyst, the first character is A, but here the first character is yes, right? The first 5 characters is sales, and the first 5 characters in the analyst is ANALYS, I guess, right? So those rows would not come. Only the rows that start with sales would come. How many rows are there? Totally 4 rows are there. I'm getting all those 4 rows from my 14 rows. But what I'm getting, I'm not retrieving all the columns. I am doing a manipulation of the columns using some functions. The first function that I'm using is concatenation. Concatenation of 2 columns, which is ename and job. That's what I'm doing, the second column that's getting displayed over there. Concatenation of employee name and job. The second function that I'm trying to use is the length. The length on a particular column, which is called ename. Whatever the data that is there under the ename column, I'm trying to get the length of that particular value. In the first case, it's Martin. The length of that one, it is the 6 bytes. So 6, I'm showing it under the length. And then I'm using another function called as an in-string function, where I'm using the same column. I want to find out the position of character A. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, remaining guys, we'll take about the next function. Let's start. Until now it is clear, right? We covered the case conversion and case manipulation functions. Now let's talk about the dates. Dates, which is very, very important. Working with the dates. Oracle stores the data in an internal numerical format, which is century, year, month, day, hours, minutes, and seconds. This is the default format of particular date. Century means CC means 2014. CC is 20. Year means 14. If it is 2015 means CC, century is 20. 15 is the year. Month is, let's assume, what is the month today?
8.
August, 8th. So 08. Day is what?
8.
Again 8? Okay, 08. Hours is what? Let's assume that this is hours, right? So 11:01, 18 seconds. So if I want to store this particular date in Oracle or in Oracle database, it would store as 2015 08 08 11:01 32. 11:01 32. It is CC, YY, MM, DD, hours, minutes, and seconds. That's how the date would store in any Oracle system. Okay, but the default date format that gets displayed is DD, a month, and YY. DD, month, and YY. Sysdate is a function returning date and time. Sysdate is if you want to get the current date and time. Current date and time. Select sysdate from dual. See, August 8, 2015, 11:02, 18 a.m. 18 seconds, right? 11:02, 18 seconds. Now this is where I'm talking about dual. Dual is nothing but a system table that gets installed, that gets created whenever an Oracle is installed on our machine. You can do any type of functions on the dual. Okay, whatever the functions that are there in Oracle, whatever the functions, when I say means any type of syntax or any type of functions or any type of operators that you want to work in Oracle, you can use the dual table and write those queries. We can talk about later on. But if you are getting a sysdate, I want to find out the current system date. Current system date. If you want to find out, sysdate would be the syntax to get the system date. What is the system date? 11:03 So it was August 8, 2015, 11:08, 18, right? If I go ahead and execute it one more time, it should be 11:03 now, right? And whatever the seconds is. So 11:03. Okay? Every time it gets changed. Every second it gets changed. If I execute it one more time, it is 44 seconds now. Okay? Sys date is the current system date. Dual is a dummy table used to view the sys date. So dual gets created whenever you install Oracle. Okay? Dual is a table. It's a dummy table that gets installed, that gets created for every Oracle installation. It's the usages. If you want to work with any type of Oracle syntax parameters, you can work with the dual table. Just practice or to get any types of this one. We will talk about it later.
It comes with Oracle?
Yes,
No,
it comes with
Oracle.
Oracle. What we can do with dates? Arithmetic with dates. Add or subtract a number to or from a date for a resultant date value. You can do all types of arithmetic calculations on date. What we can do is let's take a look at it. Add or subtract a number to or from a date for a resultant date value. We will take a look at it. You can add or subtract a number. Okay. Subtract two dates to find the number of days between those dates. This dates is very important. You have to get those concepts very clear. Okay. Because your dates is kind of you can convert into different formats to generate reports for you. You have to work out with your if you want to generate reports between a particular time frame range, you have to do a subtraction between two dates. How do you work with these two dates? You can just provide higher date minus termination end date will not help you to get the number of weeks. There are some parameters, syntax that you need to work with those dates to get whatever you want to have it. Okay, that's what we are going to talk about it. So what we are saying is you can add or subtract a value. You can subtract two dates to find the number of days between those two dates. How you are doing it, we'll talk about it. Add hours to a date by dividing the number of hours by 24s. We'll talk about what exactly it is saying. Add hours to a date by dividing the number of hours by 24. It doesn't make any sense in this sentence, but we'll add particular number of hours to a particular date and divide by 24 again. You will get again the value as a hours only, right? To a particular date, if you are adding hours, so let's assume that you are adding today some 12 hours to this date, which is August 8th. August 8th date, which is August 8th, 2015 plus 12 hours divided by again 24, you will get the value again in hours only, right? Clear what I'm saying? To a particular date, I'm adding a value in terms of hours. What are the hours? Let's assume 10 hours. Add those 10 hours to a date value, to a date field, and again divided by 24, because in a particular day you have 24 hours. Divided by 24, the resultant is again hours only. All those calculations, you can't just add default like that to a particular date. August 8th, 2015 plus 24 plus 10 by 24 will not give you the value. There is some syntax that you need to work with that.
So you convert the day into hours and then you add the hours, right?
It will happen internally, everything. So what we are saying here is, I'm using one arithmetic operator here. Select ename sysdate minus higher date by 7 from employee. So what I'm saying is sysdate minus higher date. We have a higher date, right? We have a higher date. Sysdate is what? Today's date. Today's date minus higher date. Today's date minus higher date divided by 7. So you are getting number of days. Number of days, and if you are divided by 7, you are getting weeks. And that's how you are storing it in the column called as a weeks, because this weeks is a alias. Weeks is a alias. Clear what I'm saying? Sysdate, there is a hire date on my column, right? On employee column. Employee table, I have a hire date column. What I'm trying to do is from today's date, I'm subtracting hire date and dividing by 7 to get the value in terms of weeks. So that will tell me that that employee has been there for so many weeks in this particular company.
For the particular.
This is the employee name. Sysdate minus hire date. Okay, let's go ahead and execute it. Select employee name. Sysdate minus hire date divided by 7. I'm saying it as a weeks from employee. So I get it. So for Smith, there are 1807 weeks he has been there in that particular company. Any questions, guys? So in date, we have again different functions. If I want to get months, how many months are there between two dates? Between from date and a to date. How many months are there? Then I have to use the function called as months underscore between. Okay. If I want to add months, to a particular date, I have to use the function called add underscore months. If I want to get next day, what is my next day of the date specified? Okay. If I pass on a date to this function next day, I would get what would be my next day. Like if I pass on today's date, August 8th, 2015 to the next day function, I will get August 9th. Next day. Last day. If you want to get last day of a particular month, if you pass on the entire August 8th, 2015 in that particular last day function, you will get August 31st as your last day. Round. Round means if you want to round a particular date. If you want to round a particular date. For example, today's is what? August 8th, 2015. If you are rounding on this particular August 8th, 2015, it will go back to August 1st. I'll tell you. If it is August 20th, 2015, if you are rounding again on that one, it will go back to September 1st. How is it? Tell me. If you remember in your mathematics, in your school days, if there is a decimal 99.23, after 0.2, if it is less than 5, you will be rounding it to the leftmost value. If it is greater than 5, you will be rounding it to the higher value. That's how it works over here. Clear? That's how you have to remember. Simple. August 8th, lower value August 1st. August 20th means after 15. 15 is considered as a midterm value for any particular month. Yep. Okay, clear guys? Rounding. Any doubt about that rounding? Always remember that rounding of a decimal value from your school days. You'll be easily remembering it. Truncate.
It's August 15 and also it's acceptable.
If it is always 5, you'll always go with the value 100. Truncate means it doesn't do the round. It will always trunk to the whatever the date it is. If it is August 8th, it is always August 8th. Same date.
No, I didn't get that. Truncate.
Truncate means it doesn't round it.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't round it. If it is 99.23, truncate of 99.23 after some values is there, it will truncate to that exact value. It doesn't do the round. We will talk about it. Truncate means just remember that it doesn't do the rounding. We'll talk about it. We are talking now.
But it cuts it off at a certain point, does it?
Yep. It doesn't. We'll take an example here. For example, here, if I want to use the date function, months underscore between, I am passing the dates as 01 September 95 and 11th January 94. If I pass on these two dates like this, and if I use the function as months underscore between, I will get the total number of months between these two dates.
Is there a preference to first date? It has to be the
Month.
like 95 is greater than 94, so can we exchange the position?
Yeah, we can do that, I guess. Select months. Is it months or month? I forgot. Months, right? Months underscore between sysdate higher date from EMP, right? That's how the months. Sys date is always greater than the higher date. So you're asking is just to reverse it. Let's try to do it. But you will get it in minus, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's try to do that.
Yeah.
Clear, guys? What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to find out the number of months that are there for that particular employee between the sys date, which is today's date, and the higher date. But bottom line, what I'm trying to say is how I am trying to work between the two dates here, right? Months underscore between is the function that I'm trying to use over here. Add underscore months. So if you see here, there is a date, and after that date I am passing value 6. So I want to add 6 months to this particular date. So let's go back. So let me run this query again to here. So I get the sys date, right, from the dual. What I will do is select sys date, again add underscore months, sys date, comma, let's assume 6 from dual. Execute it. So today's is August 8th. After adding 6 months, it is what? 2016 February. Right? I'm adding 6 months to the sys date. Today's date is what? August 8th. If I'm adding 6 months, what is my add underscore months value is? February. Is it February or not? If I add to the August 8th.
Yes.
Clear it?
Yes, but
When is the target date for us to get a job?
oh my God, way before that. No.
Okay, 6. Clear, guys? Add underscore months. Next day. Next day, I'm passing a date, and I'm passing a weekday, which is here is Friday. So when I'm starting from 01 September, what is my next day, which is a Friday? Which is a Friday. So I'm getting 08 September. Today is what? August 8th. I want to get what is my next Saturday. What is my next Saturday? Select sys date, next underscore day, sys date, comma, Saturday from dual, which is August 15th. If I want to get when is my Sunday, what should I get it?
August 16th.
Sunday. Sunday.
Next day or Sunday. Sunday.
So what would be the value?
Today's
Monday.
date it will be next
Monday. 17th should be the value.
Tomorrow. Daya. Where are you guys?
Sunday.
Today is Saturday. Are you sleeping or what?
We didn't have our coffee.
August 9th.
Yeah.
Right?
You got it.
I'm really getting doubt. Is it going anywhere or not?
Yes, it is. We saw his answer. See, everybody made it to the stage today.
Okay.
Everybody responded, man.
Raj, even I did it, so you should be proud, you know.
I know. I'm defending everyone today.
Okay. Last underscore day of a particular date. What I would get it, Manishi? Select sys date, comma, last underscore day of sys date.
The last day is Friday. Friday.
If I do the select sys date from dual, let me go back and execute it for you before I execute that one. What I'm getting today's date. If I execute this last day, what I would get it? Last day,
Last day of this month,
which is
31st.
31st.
Oh, obviously.
August 31st. Rovila, you got it or not?
Because we go through it one more time, right? I'll get it. Tomorrow you can ask questions.
No, but are
But
you
I
able?
got it now. Got
Are you able to understand the concept? That's what I want to get it. Otherwise, if it is just going,
No.
that's the problem.
We got it.
You got it.
Wait, one
Okay.
more time. We have to send you a video again. Statements.
We have a habit to see what the
Okay.
We understood, but we to
Yeah, we need
remember the
practice, you know.
syntax. We have to.
First row. What is that 19 point is? Those are the.
The values. It's getting 19 months. This is the result. This is the result.
The rest is
If I am using months underscore between, I am passing just from date and to date, and the value is this 19. Total months between those two dates.
the rest of the fraction is the days
Yeah, after months it is
time,
days.
and
Yeah,
everything, right?
yeah.
Okay.
These are the standard functions that are there for us. That's what we are trying to get it. And why do we need to do it? We need to do it. There is no other options because people will ask lots of questions in interview about this date, functions, everything. They will just ask, give me the function to get the number of days, number of months.
So the function is add underscore month.
Add underscore months, or if you want to get number of weeks between a dates, how do you do that? Number of weeks. There is no function, right? There is a function? No. But from date minus to date divided by 7 weeks. You will get it. They will just try to put it like that. Get these concepts and try to practice it. That's what you have to do it. What all you can think about it.
That the W3 schools is good, right, for practice? That is very good.
That's why I always say there are lots of concepts here, but every day morning you have to open W3 schools. If you have if you have an iPad or tablet, anything, just keep it aside. Early morning, 6 o'clock, open it, W3 school, go through all the functions. Every day you have to do that unless you are comfortable with that. Even after 15 days, I don't remember some of the functions. 15 years, sorry, not 15 days. I don't remember those functions. I have to take a look at it. I'm just typing concatenation, number of arguments. When Sripriya has asked me a question, I just did the Google. I don't remember that one, but at least I know the basic concepts of it. That's what you have to achieve. There is no need for you to remember all these functions, but you have to understand, okay, there will be a function like this. I have to do like this, something like that. If you just put a blank face in front of that person, then there will be a problem.
So until interview, we need to practice everything and remember.
Yeah, there is no
After
other.
we can
There is
work
no.
it out.
Yep.
And no, even if the interview say suddenly for the week thing I'm not going to remember, or the next day it might not come very quickly.
Yeah.
Like you say, even if you are experienced, you
The
cannot
date,
remember
yeah.
everything. But we just need to say, right? I think there is a next day function. There is something like that.
If there is a laptop before us, we can try it and tell them, but we will not be having it at the time of the interview, right? So we need to
Just
remember.
remember these functions.
Everyone, see, especially if you are if you are facing an interview with an Indian guy, everyone will be interested on this analytical kind of things only. SQL is more on this kind of analytical questions that they can come up with that. Can you just work with the dates and give me how many days are there, how many weeks are there? So they will try to find out if you have a knowledge on the SQL. At the same time, you'll get to know what are those different functions are there. If you try to, at that time only he will try to figure out saying that whether you are a beginner or you are an experienced or not, right?
Most of the questions will be on SQL.
If you are going for a manual testing, it will be on SQL and QC.
Okay.
First it will go SQL. QC, everyone will by heart it for 5 days. They will talk about it.
Okay.
SQL, they can take you left and right from anywhere there.
Okay.
And like me, if I just want to go ahead and talk to any person, I'll just put couple of questions like this, and I'll get an idea whether this guy is a beginner or he's just having a real 5 years experience or not. There only we will just filter it out.
Okay.
And if you are getting any guy in that interview panel, any Indian guy, he will talk about this one only.
Which is the 99% of the case, it's going to be Indian one.
Did you get the email I sent you?
No, I didn't get it.
No? Okay, I'll send it to you. I did it on SQL. I'll send it to you once again. I just wanted to know if that is how the SQL query gets written on QC.
No, I didn't.
I know I did, but you should know, right? What is
So
I
before
sent you.
preparing the resume, I really want to get your honest opinion for how many years of experience can we pass, before I want to put 5 or 6 or any number there. I want to make sure if I can get through the interview with 5 or 6 years of experience, because I'm really scared about that part.
I'm not going to.
Okay, we'll not go into the interview procedure, but we'll talk about this one. We'll come back again onto that one. Okay, but these are the different functions that are there. Okay, let's talk about the round function. 25th July 95. If I do the rounding, what would be my value, Revati? Rounding of 25th July 95, comma month. I'm saying that I want to round it to nearest month. Exactly. Because after this one I have passed as a month. Okay. In a rounding function, in a round function, I have to pass on the date and also to which parameter I need to round it off. If it is a month, then I will be rounding it off to the nearest month, which is August 1st. If it was a July 10th, it would have rounded to July 1st. Right? If it is an year, 25th July 95, it would round off to the
Next year.
96 January 1st, which is this one. If I'm truncating, that's the difference between the truncating and rounding. 25th July 95 month. It would be the
25th July.
01 July 95. If it is month, right? Month. It will go back to the month itself, 01. It will not round it off to the next month.
Oh, same month.
Same month, but it will go back to the first month.
If you give date there, it will be the same date?
Same date. Exactly. If it is month, it will go back to the first of the month. Truncate. For example, 25th July 95, if I proceed date, it will be always 25th July only. If it is month, it will go back to the July 1st. It will not round it off to the 96.
But in year, it's July means the mid of the year, right?
So truncate 25th July 95 year. That's one you're talking about?
Round. Oh, round.
Round 25th July 95 year is 01st January 96, which is next.
Round and truncate are opposite functions basically, right? If I'm right.
Truncate means you are just truncating it to that value, it's just not rounding it off. For example, 25th July 95 year, you are truncating it to the same month, but you are not rounding it off. So it is 01 January 95. because we are passing is a year over here. If I'm passing a month, it will be always July 1st. July 1st, 95.
So, oh, for the year it takes to the first of that particular year, for the month it takes to the
First of
that
the
particular month, whichever month. The first, something rolls back like exactly to the beginning of the year. Okay.
So if I would have given rounding of 25th July 95 month, what it would go? It would go back to the September, right? No, August. But what I'm saying is I'm now doing a truncated. So truncate means it should be in the same month of July. It is not truncating, but it should point to some date, right? And that date is always first, which is July 1st. That's why I'm saying July 1st. It's not truncating it. It's still sticking to the same July month. You have to make sure whatever the parameter that is passed, if it is month, it will stick to the same month. If it is truncation, since it is July, it will be always July. If it is a truncation, July means if it is greater than 15, it will go back to the next month. If it is less than 15 means go back to the same month.
That is round.
That's a round.
Yeah, but you said.
Oh, sorry. See, 25th July 95 month.
So in truncate,
25th is closer to next month.
29th of July 95, still it will go to July 1st?
In truncate?
In truncate,
Yes,
instead of
29th July.
9.
Yeah, it will go
First,
July
instead of
1st.
30th?
Yes,
It's a month.
July. Since it is a month.
But for the year, it will go back to
Same year. So it will talk about same 95. So it's again 95. But it has to go back to the first month of. So if it is year, month. If it is month, date. If it is date, it's a date for round. For truncate, based on the date, it will go back to the spillover to the previous or next month. Sorry, it's the same month or the next month. If it is month, if it is less than 15, it goes back to the same month. If it is greater than 15, it goes back to the next month.
So this is a
That's a round.
Like I have a situation here. What if I have to select from the database a particular employee who's going to join us after 1 year, future? So can we also do a truncated month for that? For future date.
How do you do
So
that?
for example, what I'm saying is, I've recruited a person and I would want to have his hire date. I recruited him in December. And I want to start him from January 2016.
So you'll add just months, right?
Yeah, for the future can I do?
Yeah.
Inside, all we are doing is the present tense, right?
Yeah, let's assume that there is a higher date, right? Select add underscore months. Hire date was there, right? In the employee table. I want to hire him after 6 months. So I'll add 6.
Can you do a round here? We can, right?
Yeah, we can do that.
I want to just extract that particular report saying that I want to see a person who's going to be joining us in future to a current date. Say for example, that you will do select round, and from there you will say dual from dual, right? Instead of employee.
No, it's employee table, right? The hire date is on the employee table.
Okay.
I don't think so it does any rounding.
You got my question, right? So what I'm saying is from today's date, I want to see.
If we can select hire date, we can compare both. Hire date also, select hire date, comma.
So 12/17, I have added hire date, right?
It doesn't look like it is rounding, right? It's just adding.
It didn't round it. Oh, you have to provide some value also, right?
12 months.
12 months?
That's what I'm saying. Instead of from.
No, you have to give the month.
Quotes or it's not necessary. Quotes is
Don't think so. Was it in quotes? Oh, it's in quote. So round off 181. So what you are saying is I want to do it after 6 months, right? So I'm saying add underscore months, right? Higher date,
how many months also?
comma 6 months,
Oh, okay.
and then like this. So there is a closing brackets over here, and then there is a round off month. Got it, right? So I'm adding 6 months to that one. So 12/17 is what? June
It's a multiple.
19, June 1981, right? When I have added 6 months to the higher date, it is June 1981. When I have rounded it, it is July 1st, 1981. For 1981 February, I've added 6 months means August, right? When I've added to the 6 months to the February, it is how many? August. February means March, April, May, June, July, August. August, right? So August 20th. August 20th would be September 1st, which is again September 1st here, rounding.
Is this an example of a multiple function statement?
Nested functions.
Nested.
What is it?
Nested functions.
Yeah.
Any class?
This thing is gone. Just turn it on.
Thank you very much.
I am so sorry. Sorry about that.
I just want to see the other command. Raj, the one Jay was talking about. Oh. Yeah, okay, got it.
From that point.
The next one is a little bit. Should I stop it here, because the next one is the from character to character.
I think
But I'm just thinking that it will just go out of your minds, I guess, if I talk
Yeah, I
now.
think that's a good idea. Sir.
Because
Tomorrow
this.
we have an exam.
Oh yes.
No.
Yes,
Why?
we have it, right?
Yeah, we have it.
Yeah. That's what we've been prepping for, the meeting here. That's what we did. That, yeah.
That's the reason for the $800 bill.
Yeah, I know, man, I feel so bad.
How will be the question?
I really feel bad.
And mandatory.
Yes, it is.
Is it objective type?
No. What else do you want?
You'll get
Revati?
everything.
Objective type.
What else do you, no, what other details do you want?
The only thing I want to try to find out is whether you are able to get the concepts or not.
We are all
And it would be, can be an
Yeah.
explanation. I can ask about what is the testing. You should able to explain what is the testing. I can ask something like would have a multiple choices. So it all, your real talent would come out on that paper now for me.
How many questions?
So one question we know what is testing.
No. We'll just have it. We'll try to see where exactly we have to improve upon, or where exactly we are really strong. But that's really important to put a logical checkpoint for you all. Okay, it's really important. Otherwise, you might be getting lost in this entire course once the Selenium starts.
So Raj, how many questions?
I'm planning to have at least minimum 30.
30?
30.
And how long exam?
Passing question.
Yeah, it's a written.
Written?
Yeah, it's a written. I'll pass on, submit in an Excel sheet. That's what I used to do it. You can write it in an Excel sheet or Word document. and you can just send it to me.
Oh, okay.
So we're doing it on
Laptop.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were giving question.
Yeah, that was our thought.
I don't have the printout, but we can do that one. We'll talk about this data types, the implicit data type conversion, explicit data type conversions tomorrow. I was planning to complete it this one, but
So we are having the example tomorrow?
yes, we'll have it.
This one? This one?
No, not this one.
Oh, this one.
Until joins or?
Yeah, until joins, until last one.
If you learn today, we can ask questions only tomorrow, right?
If you give me a question, I'll answer tomorrow.
You have to ask me tomorrow. You go to the interview, that will be a very funny response to say.
What if we do all this in one example? Including all of this, and then have it.
So 30 minutes.
Okay, we'll talk about this remaining tomorrow. First 30 minutes, or we'll cover this one. Otherwise, we'll have directly the exam.
Raj, let me just send you the email and just take a look at it.
Okay.
I'll do something.
It's a thing. We'll arrange it.
No.
Should we ask a question? Should we have?
Can we go one more time later?
We don't need to.
Which one it is?
No, I'm asking about round, I think.
And also
Just this one.
on the
This one?
the dashboard requirements.
Last day, next day.
Question.
So months underscore between.
Yeah, put that on one.
We'll talk. We'll explain by going the example.
It is SQA training, right? That is the mail ID. SQA training at gmail.com, right?
Raj.sqa training. So when I do the sysdate from dual, what is the date I'm getting?
System.
System,
The current
which
system date.
today's date. Sysdate is the current today's date. The whatever you have it today's date.
Over the data. in front of
Now I want to get what is the last day of today's date. So what I'll do is just last day. Last day of
Last day of this month.
any date. You can pass any date here. What I'm doing is I'm just passing the sys date, which is today's date.
So 60.
Which is August 31st. I'm just using this function to get a last day.
Last of this month, basically.
Last day means last day.
Sys date. Sys date is today's date.
From dual is the system date.
Okay.
Last day means what in a particular you'll have anyway. It's a last day of the month only, right? So what is the last day for this particular date? So if I want to get the next day means what would be my next day? If I don't pass on select next underscore day sysdate. If I let's assume that if I don't provide anything, if I do just this one, what I would get it. Let's see what will happen. I'll get some invalid SQL statement, right? What I'm saying that next day from this particular date that you are providing, what is the day that you want to have it? I want to have it Tuesday.
Arguments.
This is an argument that I'm passing from today's date. I want to get
Yeah.
when is my next day where it is Tuesday.
The date, what date is T, you missed the T. The date. for the-
Which is August 11th. If you go back to this one calendar, August 11th is Tuesday. So I have passed Tuesday here. I'm trying to get when is my Tuesday for this particular month by passing a particular date. This is the date that I have passed, which is August 8th, 2015. And if I use this next day function with Tuesday, I will get the date on which Tuesday falls, which is August 11th.
So
Nothing in the system is case sensitive because when I give all in lowercase, it also gives the correct thing.
That's the thing that I can do. I can remove the rest.
Raj, can you explain that again?
Which one? This one?
Yeah, the
See,
last one.
Everybody goes.
when I do the sys date, I'll get August 8th. I want to get next day of this current date, which is either Tuesday or Wednesday, anything. If I want to get what is my next Wednesday in this particular month, so what I'm saying is next day function I have to use it. I have to pass on the date. I have to pass on some date. What date is passing is the sys date.
Next day is for today's.
Guess. Okay. Next day is the function that I'm trying to use it, and I have to pass on some two arguments here. The two arguments is the sys date. Sys date is like today's date which I'm passing. I can pass any date here to work with some dates. I'm using as a sys date here. I can use higher date. Higher date means I have to use from employee table because that column is on that employee table, and higher date Tuesday from employee. If I do this one,
All the employees.
for all the employees, when is the next Tuesday from that particular higher date? So let's assume that this is higher date here. I'm selecting the higher date also here.
No, from
Why it gone?
Employee date.
You said instead of due.
Yeah, but I changed it, right?
No, that thing you lost when you selected it and you replaced it with higher. The whole syntax, the command was lost.
Okay. Let me type it. Select higher date, comma, next underscore day of higher date. I want to get it, say, let's assume of Wednesday. From the higher date, I want to get when is my Wednesday is falling. Is my spelling is correct?
For the higher date, there's one
The two day.
The two D's in the higher.
Yeah.
So 12/17/1980 was my higher date. From this date, I want to find out when is my next Wednesday is happening from this particular date. So so if you go back to the December 1980, 17th, after that 17th, 24th is my next day where Wednesday is falling. If I put Sunday, that would be a totally different day. $12.21.
So if we calculate from higher date to whatever date is.
Whatever the date that you want to have it. So it will get you the date, the exact date.
Because that's only the current one.
Dual is a dummy table that gets installed or that gets created whenever you are installing Oracle database. Just practice. Okay, guys. Let's try to practice these dates and everything. We will. If you have any questions, we can talk about it tomorrow.
Is it possible to take exams starting from another?
Next week? Why? Let's do it tomorrow. And you want to write it next week? You can take the questionnaire and write it.
For what?
Exam.
So I was thinking if we can cover all of this and then do the exam next week, and that way we'll be done with. Well, I'm not buying time, but just we can have everything in one time.
I have a suggestion.
Incidentally, that will.
During the weekdays, we can pick one time slot which works for everybody. You can send the questionnaire at that time and you can give us a particular time limit. We can finish it and send it to you via email. Will that work?
Okay.
Just a suggestion, if it works for everybody.
Means you want to write it individually on your machines and send it to me?
Yeah, if it works, if that will be okay and if...
Or if you want to do it in class, we can do it next week, but cover even including all up to tomorrow. That way, all of SQL will be covered. So next, and then we can do it in next weekend.
So we'll be done with SQL tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can do it that way. If you like. That way, everything till SQL and PC is covered in the exam.
Or if we are allowed to come here during the weekday evening and you can also be here, we can take the test one of the evenings, only the test. If it works with everybody.
Yeah, that's okay.
Wonderful.
Okay.
So we can more classes.
Oh.
No, not during the week. It's not.
We can do it next weekend.
Yeah. Tomorrow is also fun. How many is fun? Now that we don't have this place.
No, we can't do somewhere. So we can do it somewhere else.
Okay. Everyone wants some time, I guess, till next week. So should we go about that?
Yes, sir.
But if the classes have to shut down by September 12th, 12th or 13th or what with that weekend, then won't the other things be done in a rush?
Well, the thing is, if we do the exam tomorrow, it'll only cover till July. And we can do it next week and we'll cover everything.
Everything, yeah, that I get. No, I'm not.
So let me send out this questionnaire to you people and you can answer it by yourself and send it out to me rather than in a class then.
You have to be honest.
That's like, yeah, that's not,
No, I don't know. But this is the question I'm asking. So what happens to the other? We have ETS, right? What else do we have?
Unix, QTP.
Unix? We done Unix too?
Basics, not everything,
Okay.
just
Oh,
basics.
thank God.
Unix, QTP, and SOAP UI. SOAP UI and Unix would be basics only. It will not go in depth. QTP will have to spend some time.
So
Even
what about,
ETL is
There's a
basic,
photo. ETL is also basic.
what about like
Okay.
Jira and all that?
Okay.
Jira, all the tools will be just recording one class, couple of classes.
Even
The
load-
main technical classes is load runner. I don't think so. I don't see that in the syllabus.
Oh, it is not there.
Please, load
I
runner.
downloaded Loader.
Very important.
Yeah, it's
But we
not.
can just figure it out and put it on the resume, right?
It was there.
We can't.
I don't think so. It's there. Was looking at that. It's not
I
there.
downloaded it, Raj, by machine.
That's okay. We'll take about it. We'll discuss about that one also later on. But let's
Just
come.
give us an idea that we'll do. One
Yeah.
write-up or something like that. Some basic write-up we'll do.
Okay.
Right now, that's what I usually come here.
Let's continue with our class tomorrow then,
Okay.
and we'll see what will happen on the tests.
We can come do it here. We'll do it if it works for everybody.
We can come and meet you.
Evening time. It's just going to be an hour or so, right? It's not-
I'll not be there for the evening
Okay,
classes.
okay.
That's okay. I can send out the questionnaire. Anyway, I'll be done with my questionnaire. I can send it out to you.
Okay.
If you want to write it individually by yourselves, you can write it and send it out to
Be
me.
honest with that.
30
But there's only
questions.
30, right? So we're at home, we can easily copy and paste and do all that.
Depends on
That's
the-
the
But
problem.
that's where we are struggling over here.
We
Yeah,
can
that's
do next
why-
weekend and just come Saturday and then just do the exam. The first thing we do is do the exam and then continue with.
One more suggestion is after the class, next week maybe, after the class is over, a short break after the class, and after that we can do the test.
Yeah, we can do that too. But it must be in front of you, yeah?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
that I agree.
Yeah, that's
At
true.
home, it's
Otherwise
very
we'll ask
easy to
everyone
just.
and write.
It's okay.
We can write it, but
No, it's okay.